Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Sorry about that. My OBS updated, and for some reason, it just automatically cuts off my microphone and some of my other equipment. So I'm never entirely sure. Thank you very much for bringing that up, Kaiju. So, as I was saying, I am going to be out tonight. Yeah, I had to re-enter my stream key and everything else. So, anyway, tonight I have a concert, so I won't be able to do a game like I normally do. So I figured I'd just do a quick Ask Me Anything session because I don't want to miss a night. And, you know, I know there are people who tune in and who enjoy being here. So I'm just doing a quick one on this. You can ask any questions about any of the shows, be it when Terra Obscura is coming back, what we're doing with the Signal, when that Fright Bites I said for the Outwaters is coming up, anything at all. Opinions on Marvel movies, that kind of shit. So, as far as what I'm going to be doing with the shows in the future, right now, as you've probably noticed over the last month or two, I've been concentrating on upping my streaming game, and that is because I want to basically sort of make this my new platform for streaming. Well, not just for streaming, but for any videos. I'm kind of sick of how YouTube always, I've got to fight for copyrights whenever I use music or video for gags or anything like that. So I'm going to try and turn it into a horror content program that focuses on original content. When we do reviews, it's not going to be like, the older James Rolfe Nostalgia Critic style with skits and so forth. I still have a few of those up my sleeve. I intend to finish out the Nightmare on Elm Street reviews in the same way that, not Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th reviews in the same way that I started them. Once we get through those, though, I will be starting a new season, if you will, of the show, and that season is going to be in a different format. There are a few cool things that I've seen in regards to that, mainly about how you can basically host a watch party on Twitch that other people can join if they have Amazon Prime as well. So, thank you, Kaiju. Glad to see it. So yeah, one possibility is doing it that way. I mean, of course, I'm not 100% with that because then you would have to, number one, I couldn't record those and put them out. So I might do kind of a mix of pre-recorded content with skits and so forth. And at the end, do my usual thing where I do an outro, review what we've seen, and in the middle, we'll just watch the movie. But then, I like having, something that people can come back, watch again and again, and enjoy the same experience. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how to balance that. And yes, I know there are people who do post whole films that they watch live on Twitch. But the whole reason I'm doing this is because I want to avoid violating terms of service and having demonetization, shit getting pulled. Basically, I'm trying to kind of find a balance and live and work within the world that we all exist in these days. So, yeah, that is what's going on with Terra Obscura. Now, as far as The Signal, I've got the next episode of that basically completed, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Kaiju, sort of, because now when you say re-edit for YouTube, are you saying re-edit the live thing? Or are you saying re-edit the episodes that get pulled? Because as far as editing the live thing, I'm technically not allowed to record it in the first place on Twitch, because that would just be like showing everybody the movie, for free, when the agreement is with Amazon Prime, so that, people can sit in, watch, and so forth. Beyond that, there's also... Hold on, let me check something here. Is my music playing? Oh, okay, good. The background music is playing, so people weren't just hearing nothing. That's good. Okay, and as far as re-editing old episodes, it takes a lot of work to get those episodes done. Oh, no. No. Twitch actually has bots that will catch you live, and they will edit out the music and so forth. And again, I'm trying to avoid being demonetized and all that stuff, which is why whatever I'm using here is actually royalty free. So there is that. As far as editing old episodes that I've already done, once I complete something, I'm kind of, done with it. I went through it, I did the joke, I put it out, and, it's there for people to enjoy. And I really don't want to have to keep going back to stuff that I did a year ago, 5 years ago, however long ago, just because some new fucking bot that, Paramount put up decided that a 7-second clip of Jason Voorhees is too long, but a 5-second one might be okay. So yeah, that's why it's taking such a long time with Terra Obscura, because I'm basically reworking the whole format, and I've got some ideas for stuff that, don't worry, it's not going to be like Doug Walker's attempt. There was an attempt with demo reel. What I'm doing is going to be more along the lines of an actual show. That's kind of what I've got planned. Well, I mean, his was a show marginally, but number one, I'm not going to collect a shit ton of money from other people and then put up basically what looks exactly like what I've always done in one episode of a fucking game show that shits itself and then dies. No, I kind of just want to create an actual horror program, if that makes sense. And again, that's why I'm going to be kind of starting with a little bit of original programming, stuff that I know won't trip their circuit breakers. And after that, I'll try and figure out how to work movie reviews a little bit differently. So yeah, Terra Obscura. Right now, I'm thinking watch parties are a good way of doing it, but I want something more permanent and lasting. I do have some ideas for Fright Bites, actually, that I'm kind of excited. I've wanted to do this for a long time. It's kind of a series that I call Headcanon. And more or less what it's going to be is, over the years I've watched, lived, breathed fucking horror movies for God knows how long. And I've come up with a lot of interesting ideas about how things work and so forth. And I've seen other people post these long fan theories and so forth. So I'm thinking of doing some scripted stuff with that. Kind of combined with the whole way I'm doing Fright Bites now with the green screen and so forth. That I can actually use with my editing program. I use Final Cut, in case anybody's curious. So there's that. Twitch of the Death Nerd is just about, I think, as good as I can get it right now. I want to make a few changes. I want to alter and update the logo. Get that updated so that, it looks a little bit more in keeping with modern me. Big shout out to Reaper Grimm, by the way, for, let me just put it up for half a second here, 5 seconds of my title card. Ain't that gorgeous? But yeah, no, he did the art for that, and I've been using it ever since. I probably will keep it in some capacity, just, to sort of honor what's actually the first piece of fan art that I ever got that I didn't commission. I mean, I'm legitimately touched when people do stuff like that. So yeah, I am going to be doing that. And like I said, create a new logo, kind of like I did with Signal Obscura Productions itself. Each show is going to get a rebranding. I'm not sure if anybody here has seen the previous Fright Bites episode, but that included the edited version of it, at least, an animated intro. I actually did that myself. I'm pretty proud. I've been studying art a bit over the past year. I'm not great, but I can make some cool stuff, and I actually kind of want to do an art stream maybe eventually. But yeah, right now my priorities go like this: Twitch of the Death Nerd, get that completely finished, where I've got emojis, I've done outreach on it, a little bit of advertising maybe. Once that's finished, my next step, Fright Bites is more or less done. That's the format we're going to have. It's just going to be a brief live thing. I'm going to do that. I think maybe I want to get a teleprompter so that I can, display some notes for myself, so that I'm not like sitting there checking out a notebook or switching back and, running over my own words a couple of different times, kind of like I am here. I mean, hazards of live TV when you don't have a script or an itinerary in place, right? After that, I will be moving on to Terra Obscura, so actually that's pretty close when I'm going to start doing that. The first thing you'll see before I put out a new episode is probably some renovations to the YouTube channel. More or less, I just want to go through it. There's been a lot of feature updates and so forth over the last year or so while I've been away. Just want to really get things looking professional. And so that way, whenever I do put up a new episode of the show, it looks, and seems like what I'm aiming for. I've really kind of started going for it with, trying to make this into more than just, a little side hustle hobby. And so far, it's actually been paying off. I mean, I wish I had that kind of fortitude earlier when I had a lot of momentum from my Silver Bolo win and from being on Channel Awesome. But, hey, sometimes life hands you opportunities before you're ready with them. So, stick with it. And, if I had that kind of success, where I was out of thousands of people got picked for Channel Awesome, and where I managed to, in their was it their first or second season? I think it was their second season. Whatever. I got fucking a Silver Bolo award from the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs. How fucking cool is that? And if I can manage to swing those, I haven't lost anything that I had then. At least I don't think I have. I can do it a third time. It's going to take a little bit more work and dedication, maybe. Shit doesn't just drop into your lap every day, but I can manage it. So, as far as what we are going to be doing next on the show, I've got my list of crap that I'm going to be doing here. Up next, I'm going to be doing, like I said, some outreach for Twitch of the Death Nerd. More or less, I'm going to be trying to do some collabs with other streamers. I had an idea for a charity stream. I was thinking with the whole Hogwarts Legacy thing, maybe doing something for trans charity, but I kind of feel like maybe the moment's passed on that. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'm sure that there's going to be some disaster or horrible thing that I can capitalize upon for my own profits. No, I'm kidding. I like helping people. Yeah, no, that is going to be a thing that we're doing. I've got a few other events. As you can see, I'm actually really close to meeting my follower and subscriber goals here. Donation goals. If I hit any of those, then we'll key something up. Resident Evil 4 drops next month, I think the end of March. And when that happens, I'll probably do for that what I did with Dead Space, where I switch to that, and over the course of a couple of days, I'll play for a few days straight, have some giveaways of merch for my shows, I should have some new merch by then. And probably a few giveaways for the game itself. Last time I only did one, but ironically, the same person won twice, so I actually got a second copy to the runner-up after that. So, if I say one copy, don't think it means just one copy. It means probably one copy, but not guaranteed. Let's see. There was something else I was going to do. Recently, I heard that we are going to have they announced TwitchCon. I'm going to see if I can go there. I'll probably do some live stuff from that. Let me see here. I'm going to be adding some new sound effects to Blurp so that you can play those while I'm doing games and so forth on Twitch of the Death Nerd. Oh, and this is a big one. If you happen to be watching on Twitch, if you are subscribed, I think that I am probably going to be opening the show up to playing with fans for subscribers. I would do it for just anybody, but there's such a broad spectrum, and I think I'm going to have to set some ground rules for it. Obviously, I don't want some asshole white supremacist motherfucker coming in here and announcing, oh gee, start saying shit on air. I don't want that. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. So I'll probably request to see if you already have a Twitch channel so that I can maybe pick somebody who qualifies. And, if you meet all the qualifiers, maybe I'll do a random drawing or something, or schedule you or something. I'm not sure. It's very nascent. That's one thing that I'm actually really enjoying about bringing everything back and focusing on what I can improve with each episode. The fact that I can, it's always something new now. It's not just me doing the same thing over and over again, which was part of the problem with Terra Obscura previously. As much fun as it was to write and so forth, it was getting boring, formulaic, because I was just concentrating on making episodes. I write the episode. Oh god, did I tell that joke before? Oh wait, if I did tell that joke, can I make it a throwback joke? Stuff like that. And it was just getting dull. And plus, like I said, I was getting constantly demonetized for music, using too many clips, this, that, the other thing. So, there wasn't a lot of reward out of it beyond just the fun. And, Patreon, okay, people put a few bucks in my pocket. And, again, huge shout out to you if you are still on Patreon after this hiatus. I know that I do have 2 or 3 very dedicated folks there who, honestly, you kind of helped me make it through a bit of a bad patch, financially speaking, not to go into too much detail here. But, the fact that you guys continue to support me was really fucking awesome. Alright, let's see. What else do we have here? Honestly, that is about all I've got right now. I was going to record a Fright Bites of Outwaters earlier today, but here's the thing about my studio setup. As you can see, I've got a light back there, and with the days getting a little bit longer, I honestly cannot film in these conditions. It would fuck up the green screen. So I'm going to be posting those a little bit later at night. Probably starting around 8 or 9 o'clock. There'll be announcements ahead of time on the day of. I'm hoping I can catch Outwaters either tonight or tomorrow after I get a little bit more free space. Like I said, I'm going to that concert tonight. I don't know how long it's going to be, when I'm going to get back. Nor do I give a shit, because it's going to be fucking awesome. So yeah. That is basically the state of the union. If anybody does have any lingering questions, I got a few minutes left here before I've got to hit it. Feel free to ask away, and I will provide whatever answers I can. Anybody? Show of hands. Going once. Going twice. Going a third time. Jesus, my complexion's fucking awful on this camera. Holy shit. Is that just the camera? Do I look like this? The fuck? Glad I'm not in full HD. Just 720p. Alright. Well, if you're satisfied, I'm satisfied. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I will see you guys on Tuesday at 5:30, as per usual. And then again on Thursday and Saturday of next week. I don't have any major plans for that week, so I'm going to call it. Good night, everybody.